That was my thought when I joined. Like, what would I do in a place which is selling clothes, apparel, and things like accessories? I'm here to safeguard the best interest of my business, and I have to keep that delicate balance between aesthetics and business all the time. So that is the crux. Well, I joined as an assistant manager.
No doubt you are on the deputy vice president post now. Hello everyone, welcome back on CopperPod Architecture Paths, and in Ruburu with Rupali today we have architect Tejaswini Beura. She is the Deputy Vice President of the Store in Charge Department of Shoppers Stop, and we are going to talk to her what is this niche career, what is retail design and management. She has been in this industry for around 21 years now, and she is going to explain to us how wonderful scope does this field of architecture bring to all the young architects and design, all the students who are interested in design management. Let's meet her and talk to her about this. Hi Tejaswini, finally you are here on my podcast. Thank you so much, and we are here to understand her journey. So let me welcome Tejaswini because she's a very close friend of mine. We have been batchmates, as I told you. She's here to explain to you what her scope of work is and how was her journey entirely in this retail industry. So welcome Tejaswini, thank you for being here once again. I'm so happy to see you. Please tell us how you began with retail first, and then we'll go back to understand your journey. But what do you do presently?
Okay, first of all, Rupali, thank you so much for inviting me on your podcast. I'm honored to be here. And yes, I would love to share my journey and my, nitpicks. So what I do here in retail, as one would wonder, what does an architect do in retail? And that was my thought when I joined. Like, what would I do in a place where, which is selling clothes, apparel, and things like accessories. So when I joined, it was a whole lot of learning curve for me. And what I do essentially is my job involves designing, planning new stores, and keeping on rearranging the existing ones. And we have multiple formats, and every format has very unique requirements. So we have like beauty formats, we have home formats, and we have all encompassing department store formats. So every category, every format has unique requirement, unique servicing style, unique display,
Of course,
merchandising.
It's quite challenging,
Yeah.
in a way, because in that space, what you're going to do, your creativity must be at, really
That's
being
true.
challenged. Yeah,
That's true. But then most important is I need to keep the business on top of my mind. So I have to keep my architect's ego aside, and I have to so I'm here to safeguard the best interest of my business, and I have to keep that delicate balance between aesthetics and business all the time. So that is the crux of my job.
Fantastic. No doubt you are on the deputy vice president post now. Are you heading the region wise or pan India wise? How does this go?
No, I am heading the entire department, and it's a centralized department. Right. So we have more than 100 stores of Shop Stop across India, and we have more than 10 to 12 stores of Home Stop. We have around 150 200 beauty stores, which are like so. So we have multiple formats, and I'm heading the design for all the formats.
Amazing. Okay, tell me how did you join? So you joined on what post here?
Well, I joined as an assistant manager.
Okay.
So
And being an architect was a plus point for you over there. How did they? Were they looking for architects that time?
yes, so this department calls for people qualified as architects or interior designers.
Right.
And at that point of time, they were looking for senior like it was a kind of senior position at that point of time, and they were looking for architects who have already dealt with a certain scale of interior related projects.
Right.
So they had certain scale of projects in mind, and that is what they were looking for. And it was a very emerging sector
Yes.
at that point of time, and it was a learning phase for everyone in India. So we were the pioneers in India for in organized retail and department store format, and like we learned and we kind of led.
Yeah, wow, that's truly creditable, truly. So this was a ad in the newspaper, and you applied, or how was it, or was it through
No,
reference?
it was absolutely accidental.
Okay,
So yeah, there's a, recruitment agent who was, uh, we all of us were pre-mobile era.
yeah, pre-mobile era,
So
yes.
yeah, so there was a landline, and the agent was actually trying to track someone else, but I happened to be, who took the call.
Yeah,
I just gave it a try. I mean, he literally convinced me that retail is going to be the next big thing in India, and you should look at it. And I was, prior to that, I was actually working on bigger infrastructure projects, and I wasn't interested. I was really not interested. However, uh, corporates in India was like just begin to, they had started employing architects, and the pay was quite attractive at that point
oh
of
my
time,
God,
which
I'm
you
glad.
would understand.
I'm glad. I'm glad. You know, the way you mentioned that there were agents, I remember in our college we had an agent who had come, and she had given us, we were just, we given our final year exam, so our results were also not out as yet. And that is the time when she brought in all these reality, where I remember working in Lloyd's Realty initially.
Okay.
So I can really relate to how we were looking out for jobs, and we were, but I think this phase of yours was quite after you have done your masters also.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So I would like to tell you here that Tejaswini, being a graduate from LS Raheja School of Architecture, done her graduation from there in architecture, and she pursued her masters in project management, and that was through NICMAR.
Yes.
So we would like to know about that journey of yours also, the NICMAR decision, how you could decide. I think NICMAR was again a very niche area that time. I mean, where we were, normally looking at SEPT or, moving to some master's courses in urban and, how did you think of project management? Because it was not a very,
Okay.
sort of platform
So-
that time.
Again, I'll give you a little backstory. So, what happened was, after I passed architecture, actually I got a KT in design.
Wow.
Okay, so it kind of shattered my confidence at that point of time. And then I was working in an architectural firm, the old school architectural firm at that point of time, in way back in 1995. And we were working on those drafting boards, and almost 1.5 years went by, and I realized that I can't keep on doing this for too long. I'll have to do something more than this. And I knew design may not be my forte, and I was looking for something else.
Wonderful.
And this came along. I saw an ad of NICMAR project management. I jumped for that opportunity, and I got in, and it changed my perspective.
Yeah.
So that is the first time when I met so many different people, like especially engineers from across India, with different thinking, thought processes, different level of
Absolutely.
knowledge, and I knew where I was. I could understand, okay, I really need to grow my perspective, and it helped a lot.
Wow, I'm really glad you shared this, Tejaswini, because that moment after coming out of architecture, what I want to do also was a big question mark, and it is not
Yes.
necessarily everybody gets the clarity in the 5 years of education, and these are the stages where you try to introspect and find what you want to do, and somewhere the best thing was you knew what you didn't want to do. That is where it made the journey faster to achieve your goal. Wonderful. Again, the KT part, which is, such a scare, especially to the students, or, they feel that it's a complex. But as you said, the more the failures, the more the success, or the faster you become, आप एकदम तैयार हो जाते हैं ना आगे की जर्नी के लिए.
Correct, correct. I believe failures actually become the stepping stones
Yes.
of your further journey, which may lead into successes, which may not lead
May
into
not
successes.
too, yes.
However, they are the stepping stones, and one must take them in stride.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
all of this is like looking back and
Yeah.
retrospecting.
Not during that time when we were facing it, I can imagine. Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure this discussion, that's heartfelt confession, is going to give a good inspiration to quite a few young minds, because I have seen students through the journey, and I know it is more than them, it is their parents who are worried that you have not got this mark. And especially in 12th, when you see the students are good in 80s, 90s, and suddenly here you are fighting even to get 50 or 5 marks out of 10, and then the parents become, and then eventually the stress moves out to the students. So I think yes, so this is the journey which every architect goes through as a student.
Yes.
I would also want to know that you, being a woman entrepreneur, what were the challenges that you felt or you went through? Please feel free to discuss anything and everything, because I know, Teju, that you have gone through all these hurdles, made your way up till here, and you must have gone through the typical societal pressures that are not so much looked of. It is always said that if she's a woman, she has to go through that. Usme kya hai? She has to balance. But there is a different story behind, and everybody has their own story. We would love to know yours.
Okay, so what I've seen in this long journey of my corporate career is initially, there are not too many hurdles. Initially, everyone is kind of treated equally. However, and it's not really the corporate or the management who treats you unequal. What happens is the way the systems are, the way the family systems are, the way you are biologically made, that kind of makes you step back when you're building your family.
Perfect.
So you have children, you have family members, you have elders to take care of. So at every stage, it's the woman who steps back and takes care of the unit, takes care of the children, takes care of and then there's no way you can't do it. So I have seen the men are not so much emotionally and mentally invested into all of that as much as the woman is.
Yeah. Maybe as you rightly said, because of the societal upbringing, that is what they're supposed to, they were told right from first kid, you have to look at the, and that mentality moves ahead.
Right.
Which definitely creates an imbalance somewhere, and
it does. So by the time you reach middle management and your kids are sort of growing up, I've seen a lot of women sort of quit and step back from this entire career path. And of course, there are other challenges when you rise up to the senior management. However, yes, as Indra Nooyi also says, you can't have it all. So one just has to probably look at that, okay, you've also fulfilled this journey at the same time of your, that you've been working as a career woman.
Yes.
But if a man and a woman are together, the man reaches higher much faster than a woman. That is something that I have seen personally.
Okay, and I think it is as the woman now and the mother of a dynamic young boy, I'm sure you will bring in the change that is required and see to it that he knows how he has to, because somewhere it is, I feel it is our role now to, make them see the world with a different perspective. I think you, the other time you discussed about your mother-in-law, I would love if you could say what the stand that she took. I mean, it is amazing And these are the small steps which I feel that every woman needs to take when a decision has to be made. Would you share? Would you love to share?
Sure. So, actually, through this podcast, I would like to tell all the women, young women who are trying to build careers, who are trying to build families, that build your community. That's very, very important. Nothing can be made in isolation, nor any project, neither your family. So,
Wonderfully put.
building a community, building help all around yourself is absolutely important. So what happened when my son was born? My mother-in-law was here at my like she was here to help me through the delivery and all, and my parents were in Mumbai. Of course, they were all by themselves. My brother had like settled abroad, and they needed to be taken care of. So it was she who decided that my parents should come to my home and they should stay with me to look
Oh,
after my kid while I am looking after them medically and emotionally. So it helped both ways because I had a traveling job. I used to travel a lot
exactly.
in early
Yeah.
days.
So with
So it
so many
really helped.
branches all around, it.
Yeah, across globally. I used to travel there. I mean, one had to. It was part of the job, and I loved doing it.
Yes.
But then, without any fear or stress of
Yeah.
how my
Yeah.
son is being raised, because he was in a very safe hands.
Very safe, and at the same time, your parents were with you, and
Yes,
again that.
that also gave me a lot of reassurance that they are there in front of my eyes.
Lovely, lovely. I mean, this is where, and as you said, once my mother-in-law said it, there was no
Going
objection,
back,
no
yeah.
going back, and no objection from anybody, let apart the husband also, who might. But yes, that is needed where she took. I mean, it is very rare that such decisions are called upon, and I think the woman is here the most important decision maker, which is needed. Wonderful. Tejaswini, also we would love to know that how you would like to think of the younger, or I would put it this way, that if anybody wants to pursue in a retail industry, how would you feel that what would be the skills or what would be the liking that that student has to have so that he can look at experiencing the retail industry?
Sure. So, retail is multifaceted. Retail is very agile. Retail keeps changing. It's very dynamic. So, one has to look at, one has to keep on upskilling and kind of look at trends which are going on across the world in either in country or abroad. And retail also involves, like retail is not only, it could be service industry, it could be the retail stores,
Yes.
it could be QSR, food retail, it could be anything. And you could actually do well in any of these formats.
So,
Retail,
sorry to interrupt you here. So, along with design aspect, any other skills like communication skills or sort of what is required?
so what happens, and if you're working in retail industry, you're not you're actually part of the client, right? And
Exactly.
as against you working in an architectural firm where you are serving a client, so you have to take all your decisions from a mindset of a client, which is you have to sort of look at the business, that's your priority. At the same time, you have to look at how customers are relating to the spaces that you are creating, which is the foremost. So you have the unique ability to visualize, which is not there with any of your colleagues, right? And you are there to support them with your unique skills of visualizing a space and optimizing the productivity out
Yeah.
of that space. So how do you do that the best and serve the customers is the key.
Exactly. Even observation skills, the movement of the customer once they. So, this is very interesting when you said optimizing the need. They have to. I think you will have to balance what is the need of the market, what is it that is coming up right now, make the changes accordingly. Does it go this way?
Yeah, not only all of this that you've said, but also keeping in mind the cost part of it, because you're paying
Ah,
rent on the space, you're paying the cam on the space. So how, and then there is certain sale that you're doing out of that space. So are you making money by doing the sale, the retail sale out of that space? Is the profitability of your space? So you also have to get into the market dynamics and the finance dynamics of the space, and that is where your role as space manager,
of course.
comes in picture, and it's a very very key role in Indian retail industry.
Yeah, of course. It's that main, the crux of where the customers come and how they move and operate and buy products.
Right.
Yeah, so true, so true. So you have, when you initially joined as a young assistant manager, and eventually when you grew, you have a team with you. How does this go?
Yeah, I do have a team.
Team of architects again.
Yes, so it's a multi-dimensional team. We are a team of architects, then there's a, separate team of engineers who does execution. There are also a team of procurement, people who do procurement. So all of us work together and to fulfill a project. Um, and yeah, so I'm in charge of designers and architects, so it's a team of
Okay. And you work on which computer applications? Is AutoCAD sufficient or any 3D?
so in the retailers in India are working on AutoCAD as well as Revit. We work on AutoCAD, and yeah, that's the application that we work on.
Okay, fantastic. I mean, I must have met you earlier, maybe 5, 6 years back or 10 years back, and I realized how much you have, focused yourself and diligently taken it ahead. How do you think? I mean, was that satisfaction that you got in doing this job made you move ahead so diligently?
So I look at it like every day I is a new day for me. Every day I approach the day with a lot of positivity, and it's always about finding solutions, and there are always problems,
Yeah, of course.
and so I usually lead the entire team with full enthusiasm every single day. So every project, every new concept that we launch, every new brand that comes in is a new thing for us, and then we try to imagine how the customers can be delighted when they come across this space or the brand or the service that we offer. So how do
So
we put
this,
all of this together and across the nation? So
wow. So
it just
all
keeps
this,
us picking.
yeah. So that challenges that comes across, of designing, not a monotonous way of working.
Yeah, not really. As I said, retail is very dynamic. Everything changes. Like I remember when we started, we were also selling saris. We don't do that anymore. Then there was a time when formals were very in vogue, but then it started diminishing. Now casuals are more in vogue. Beauty industry is just picking up in India. So things are changing, like, and they're changing fast, and there's also e-commerce now.
Okay,
So
right.
there's a whole new trend of blending the stores with online experience and giving a customer a seamless experience. So we are actually toying with all those ideas now. So there's always new challenges to keep us motivated.
Very well said. I mean, when you imagine Shopper Stop, that seamless, wonderful space that you are moving around, and as a customer, we are just enjoying every part of it. But what goes behind it and making us feel so comfortable and get our what we need is so important. I
And
mean
not
that.
to forget making it profitable.
Yeah. Well said, because well, the vice president, deputy vice president has to look at profits definitely. Great. There is one curious, question that comes in my mind as an architect. When it is, this space is somewhere a family enters, right? When it is like there are kids, there are senior citizens, there are, how are you have you given any thoughts on this, you know, keeping everybody engaged? Because when it is when there are kids and when there are elders, you know, it's not necessary we can focus on. It's just a curious question that I'm asking, that whether any thought has been given to that idea.
Yeah, so we are very much aware that it's a family shopping experience that we have to provide at Shopper Stop, and in fact, recently we've launched a new store where we've given a small gaming arcade for young adults. We've provided playing zone for toddlers and young kids, and we've created lounges to, you know, for senior citizens to sort of sit and relax while the family is shopping. We've provided comfortable seating arrangements within trial rooms so that the your partner sort of can wait and watch while you're trying out your garments. So we've actually provided some makeover stations for young, like people who are interested in beauty. So there are lot of experiential zones that we've created, and that's our way forward in terms of retail journey.
Yes. So this is an architect speaking now, you know, because you naturally have to look at all, you know, make everyone comfortable and then give it a thought. So it is very important, especially in a secluded space, when you try to create these small areas which are catering to each and every member and considering the member, is, I think, you need an architecture degree to holistically think of it. And, you know, emotionally connect with everybody. We were also talking, Tejaswini, about some initiatives in gender and, you know, all these aspects that you're. Can you tell us about that also?
Yeah, so I'm at my organization. I'm actively working on certain initiatives to make the place inclusive for women. There are many drives that we have undertaken, and as you would know, like, we have stores across India, and especially in smaller towns and, you know, tier 2, tier 3 towns, where coming out of their homes and working in an organization itself is a big achievement for a, you know, woman who's maybe just passed out of her college or 12th. And, you know, so how do you protect her? How do you safeguard her, the environment for,
safe
and
environment.
yeah, and encourage her to sort of keep doing what she's doing. So we are working on a lot of drives to make Shopper Stop a very safe space, not only for women but also for all genders. So especially in our beauty industry, we have a lot of people from different genders working, and we are absolutely an inclusive organization. And
Yes, the bigger the organization, the more it becomes responsible towards the society. And if there are people like you who are so open to giving it that thought, is what we need the most, I suppose, today, right? Anything that you have to convey the young architects, what is your experience and advice to them?
okay, I would like to convey that, see, all of us as architects, see, we come with a lot of air in our head when we pass out. I would sincerely urge all of us, all of the young architects especially, to uh, be grounded, be absolutely open minded, be accepting, and be very, very observant. Things will come naturally to you from, you know, everywhere that you move around, travel. Be there in realistic world, you know, rather than the virtual world. It's very important. Connect with people, be a team player. Everything in architecture is about teamwork. Nothing can be made in isolation. So be a team player, collaborate. Yeah, it's very important to collaborate with people. and especially to young women architects, uh, build your community and like keep on doing what you're doing every single day. So the next day is a new day, just keep on doing what you're doing, you know. Take baby steps but keep on doing, don't quit.
Don't quit.
Yeah, don't quit, absolutely.
I mean, the universe will find a way to balance out only if you are focused for what you want to do, and keep your vigor and focus on that. Yes, very true, Tejaswini. It is a journey even after graduation to explore oneself. So this field of architecture makes you absolutely a holistic uh, giving all holistic education from all aspects of teamwork, of design, of communication skills, of hard work, of so on and so forth. Now where you want to apply that exploration comes after your graduation. And as you try to move to taking your post graduation and moving ahead and just giving yourself that experience and then realizing, yes, this is the field for you. I think they should be open to not look at jobs or expecting something immediately after graduation, but taking it as the part of their journey for another 3 to 4 years also. Wow. So here in this retail industry, you are now for how many years?
I've spent almost 2 decades
Oh
in the retail
my.
industry.
Wow. And with the same organization?
Yes, with the same organization.
So I'm extremely thrilled to see you where you are. From the time we were such, mm, in the college where we were not heading or you were just focusing on our submissions and deadlines and making those, and then after coming out we were suddenly in that huge ocean. Now what are we going to do? And where you are right now, it is an impeccable journey, Tejaswini. I am so happy for you that you have got the right community that you wanted with you. You got a fabulous organization that gives you all the scope to move ahead, and you are equally giving them back now that you are so happy with what you are doing. We wish you all the very best in your endeavors, and we hope that you also train quite a few young architects under you. So all of you all over there, please feel free, whoever feels that yes, this could be a field for me. Definitely
Yeah,
she is there.
you can always connect with me, yeah, for any guidance, any advice, I'll be always welcoming.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for being here once again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Rupali. Thank you. It was fun talking
It
to
was
you.
great. It
Thank
was
you.
great. Enjoyed it.